SERVE is the MUFG Enterprise Resource Group for veterans, those who have family members that were or are veterans, and those who support veterans and first responders. The mission of SERVE is to provide support and a network of resources for our employees who are veterans, current service members, and their families. We build partnerships with military organizations and educate our organization about the needs and skills of veterans. We encourage the hiring and internal development of veterans.
As the executive sponsor for SERVE in Americas, my job is to ensure we have adequate resources and financial support for our SERVE programs. A very important event that we sponsored was Mike Hayes, Chief Data Transformation Officer at VMware, coming to speak to us about his new book, Never Enough, a Navy SEAL commander on living life with excellence, agility, and meaning. I personally enjoyed his presentation and wanted to share a few highlights from that time at MUFG.
During the virtual event sponsored by our SERVE Enterprise Resource Group, Mike talked at length about his philosophy on leadership that is easily adapted to any situation. He also talks about the importance of living life with intention every step of the way. In his book, we learn that it isn't just about leadership, but living life to its fullest extent possible while serving others. And now here are a few highlights from his presentation.
I'm often asked, like, hey, Mike, how do you think about decisions? It's not complicated. The first decision in decision making isn't the decision itself. The first decision in decision making is when to make your decision. Okay, it's the number of times that I've had somebody approach me and say, hey, sir, you got 2 seconds, we got to make a quick decision here, or hey, we've got 2 weeks, we can take our time. The way to think about decision making is to go get the best possible inputs you can. You know, you're going to have some number of inputs. How do you get more inputs? How do you get higher quality inputs? And you get them as fast as you can. And then you think about the time that it takes to go improve your inputs. At some point, the cost of the time associated with getting better inputs costs more than the marginal utility of the value that comes from those inputs. And that's your inflection point. So just think about that inflection point and say, that's when you need to go make your decision. How do you get other inputs of people who don't think like you? Because then you make better decisions. What's really important to me is surround myself with people who don't think like me and get their inputs. The way we would think about this in the SEALs is that no matter how hard it is, somebody is always relatively up and another teammate is relatively down. So how do the teammates who are relatively up go reach in and help the teammates who are relatively down on any given day? Because one day that I'm up, I'll help somebody, but the next day I'll be the person who's down and I need that other person to pull me up. And so that takes courage. It takes asking sometimes even uncomfortable questions to say, hey, are you okay? And we think often of being intrusive as a negative word. And it's not that. It's a very positive word. It's being intrusive in someone's life to find out if you can do anything for him or her. You know, people love to just say, hey, do you need anything? And we hope that their answer is no. Well, how about flipping that? And when you say, hey, do you need anything? Hoping that the person says yes, because that's an opportunity to invest in your teammate. You know, it's an opportunity to build that capital within your organization.
We hope you enjoyed listening to Mike as much as we did.
And we encourage you to purchase his book, Never Enough. Proceeds from the sale go to a nonprofit that he created that focuses on paying off mortgages for Gold Star families after a service member is killed in action.